Welcome to the Launch Capsule. With your host, James DuBos. Buckle up because your launch capsule begins now.
Liftoff. We have a liftoff.
Hi, I'm Laura Beth, your moderator for this interview, and joining me is Jim DuBos, founder of the DuBos Group. We'll be discussing entrepreneurial fulfillment, building a successful business, and how to build a fantastic employee-centric culture. Jim, welcome.
Laura, thanks for having me. I'm looking forward to this.
All right, Jim, let's talk about the fourth pillar of entrepreneurial fulfillment, and that term is team. So why is this one of the pillars in how you run a business?
So my very first business was in the early 80s. And I think what I learned over this 35 years is it's really important to use an expression, team, not staff. And so you're trying to surround yourself as you grow with people who are going to ultimately bolster the success of the company. You know, I even would go as far to say that the people that are working in the company basically are peers. I'm trying to avoid a sense of hierarchy, if you will. And look, I understand the traditional org chart. We all use them. And that's really to just kind of create this functional reporting structure as who do I go to when I have a question? But ultimately, what you want to avoid as the entrepreneur owner is that yours is the final opinion and only opinion that matters. Because what happens in that environment is you accidentally create this culture of apathy. And honestly, it's untapped potential.
That's exactly what I was just thinking. I mean, if yours is the final opinion, why would your team want to even give input?
So you know, when people feel like they're treated as a collaborator, when my voice matters and it's going to have a direct effect on the business outcome, I promise you they're going to give you more effort. They're going to share their ideas, and honestly, they're going to work more efficiently and effectively in the business.
They feel like they are helping with the outcome that you're trying to achieve, which is going to
100%.
help you get to that outcome a lot faster and achieve a lot more. So great points there. All right. So, you know, what is at stake when there's no mutual respect in the workplace?
We talked about it in a previous question, I think, about, you know, I like to say democracy, not dictatorship. Mm-hmm. Because in a dictatorship, the boss just makes all the decisions and everyone else just follows orders. And honestly, if people feel like their opinion means nothing, they're not going to bring their best selves. In your business, your passion, the reason you started this, your why, all of that's going to suffer. You know, a good friend of mine had an expression. He said, people vote with their feet. And I was like, well, what is that? What does that mean? Well, it means that people choose every day to come to work in your business. And so what's going to motivate them, inspire them to choose each day to come back to you? Well, they're going to want to work with you if they feel valued, if they feel like their voices are being heard. A democracy, not a dictatorship.
Yeah, I like that. People vote with their feet. So just think about that.
That's a great expression.
Okay, now the term, team really is about doing the work together and weathering storms together, right?
It is. I mean, I used the word a lot in my certainly in my later entrepreneurial life, which was collaboration. Collaboration is not a top-down approach. You know, we talked about it in a previous pillar in treating others like you want to be treated. It's this sense of mutual respect. You know, I'm appreciating the gifts and talents that others bring to my business every day. You know, Richard Branson has a beautiful expression: take care of your employees because they take care of your customers. And one of the motivating things that I did, and it kind of comes from this place of a servant's heart and looking at my team, was really instilling in my employee community professional pride. Have professional pride in what you do every day, in the gifts and talents that you've been given, that it's okay to be, happy that you accomplished something. And so I think that element of celebrating the team's accomplishments, let the glory go to them, and you take all the blame when they fail. So,
yeah, them succeeding is you succeeding too. Thank you, Jim.
You're welcome.
That's a wrap for today's episode of The Launch Capsule.
The Launch Capsule.
With your host and mentor to success, James DuBos.
James DuBos.
If you enjoyed today's episode, don't forget to subscribe and share.